Are there truly things that you can do that will outperform the benefits of fasting? I see articles and videos every day on the internet that says if you implement these lifestyle measures, you will get better results than fasting. And so what we're going to do in this video is we're going to dissect each and every one of them and determine if it'll actually outperform fasting. So stick around to the end. Let's dive in. But before we do, I'm Dr. Nick Zyrowski, and thanks for hanging out with me in another video today. If you like this kind of information, this natural health information that keeps you on the razor's edge, then go ahead and join me over in my natural health community called Health Club. I'll put a link in the description below. I share with you the clinical tips that I use every day in my clinic, working one-on-one with patients in order to help them get well and transform their health and do it naturally, because true health only comes naturally, and we all know that. So click on the link in the description and join me in Health Club if you want to learn more. Now, when we look at how we can improve our health, we're always looking for that new cutting edge thing we can do. And there's a lot of different information on the internet that constantly intrigued me because it says this outperforms fasting. And I think to myself, as somebody who loves fasting, how could I get better results than fasting? So let's dive in. The first one that I came across here is building muscle, especially doing resistance training. Okay. Now, some will argue that building muscle is better than fasting because the muscle tissue is going to radically improve insulin sensitivity, glucose uptake, metabolic rate, and long-term health. Now, here's the thing, is you can accomplish all of this and you don't even have to stop eating. So that fasting stuff is silly, right? Now, when you are building muscle and you have a lot of lean muscle mass, it raises your metabolic rate 24/7. So who wouldn't want that? You're going to improve your body composition. You're going to have less fat. You're going to have more muscle because you're building muscle. You're going to stabilize your blood sugar and also preserve long-term metabolic rate. Now, I think all of this is great. I think this is actually something that's very important. When you look at any longevity study that exists, one of the things you will find is that you have to prioritize lean muscle mass in building muscle, okay? Now, I think the theme of today's video is going to be two things can be true at once. A lot of times we are hyper-focused on one thing that's going to transform our health, right? But the fact is having good health is going to be a puzzle, and there's many pieces to it. So I think that building muscle is very important, but I wouldn't say, well, you should do this instead of fasting, and fasting is too hard and don't mess with it, just build muscle. Because fasting offers a completely different set of benefits in a way. Fasting is going to help improve your insulin sensitivity. Fasting is going to trigger autophagy, that is going to be that cellular cleanup mechanism where you take those broken down cells that are dysfunctional, like a cancerous cell, for instance, break it down, use the components of it to make new healthy cells, right? So that's going to be a huge benefit of fasting that really is going to be from fasting, not alone, but highly, highly encouraged through the fasting process. Fasting is going to help burn your stubborn belly fat. Fasting is going to improve your brain function because you increase BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is very important for longevity as it pertains to neurological well-being. Also, fasting is going to reduce inflammation in the body, which is important to reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease or cancer or many other awful diseases that the human body gets. So though there is some crossover, both muscle building and fasting have some unique benefits of their own. And as I said, two things can be true at once. Next is going to be prioritizing protein can actually outperform fasting. So why would prioritizing protein in our diet, making sure that we're getting plenty of protein, be so beneficial? And how could it outperform fasting? Well, the reason that this is thought to be is because protein, for one, will trigger satiety. It'll also stabilize your blood sugar and help boost your metabolism. Furthermore, protein is going to help build that muscle, which is going to act as a good cleanup of glucose in the bloodstream and improve insulin sensitivity. Protein, when prioritized, also reduces cravings, which is very important. So if you eat plenty of protein throughout the day, you're far less likely to crave sugar and carbohydrates. It also improves your metabolic rate and lower your chance of over-consuming calories, which would lead to weight gain, okay? So two things can be true at once. It is good to make sure that you're prioritizing protein. I recommend this all the time because once again, just like longevity studies that show that you need to actually have plenty of lean muscle mass on your body in order to live a good, long, healthy life, well, the way you're going to do that is by prioritizing protein. So you're going to want to make sure that you're prioritizing protein. This is something that I tell people all the time. It will improve your quality of life in a big way. Now, the next thing that I found that would outperform fasting is going to be fixing your sleep. Some argue that quality sleep will outperform fasting because it supports weight loss, inflammation reduction, and hormone balance. Furthermore, if you get quality sleep, what you're going to find is that you'll have lower cortisol levels, you'll have improved insulin sensitivity, you'll also have metabolic hormone balance. There's a hormone called ghrelin that makes you happy, and a hormone called leptin that tells you you're full. When these are out of whack, your body doesn't know whether it's full or hungry. And a lot of times you're constantly getting a signal to eat and not getting the signal to tell you you're full. And then also fasting is going to improve fat burning, okay? Here's the thing, fasting offers a ton of these exact same benefits. Now, do I think that fixing your sleep is important? Two things can be true at once. I think that fixing your sleep is incredibly important. As a matter of fact, on the wall in my clinic, we have the 5 pillars of health. Sleep is on there. And sleep is on there because I think that if you have low quality sleep and you're putting a ton of other effort into your health, you're missing a very important aspect of how you will truly improve your quality of health, and that is by fixing your sleep. So we always want to make sure that we're fixing our sleep. Another big one was managing your stress is so much more important than focusing on fasting. Well, why would this be? Chronic stress is going to cause a decrease in insulin sensitivity and a decrease in your fat metabolism. Chronic stress also is going to increase your cortisol. And so if we can lower our stress, we'll have better hormone balance, we'll have less inflammation, fewer cravings, and improved blood sugar. So once again, two things can be true at once here. And yes, stress does cause all of these problems. I mean, have you ever been stressed and you're like, you know what? I don't even care what I eat or how much I eat. And then you're craving sugar and craving sweet drinks all the time. And so you're going to find that stress does drive things in the wrong direction, just like a lack of sleep does. We have to make sure that there's many aspects of our health that we're keeping under control. Here's the thing, is that as humans, I think it's a natural tendency, because so many of my patients do this, is that we tend to be very myopic with our health, and we think there's just one thing that's going to transform our health. It's just that one thing we need to implement, and everything's going to be fixed. The truth is, when you're trying to fix your health, it's a puzzle. It's building that lean muscle. It is going to be prioritizing the protein, fixing your sleep, lowering your stress levels, right? It's going to be doing all of these things. And guess what? Fasting fits right in there as well. Now, here's another one. Eating whole, non-processed foods. I think this is incredibly important. Now, why is this better than fasting, according to the internet? Well, because if you're eating good quality food, it's going to help stabilize your blood sugar, lower inflammation, nourish your metabolism, and of course, make sure that you're getting proper micronutrients every day and support sustainable weight loss versus, doing this crash diet thing with fasting. Here's the truth, is that I recommend intermittent fasting, 1 meal a day, and 3-day fast, 7-day fast. You know what the one thing that I tell everybody is that you have to be eating a good quality whole food diet that's micronutrient dense, that's giving your body what it needs to thrive. Otherwise, if you're using fasting as a tool in order to make up for your garbage diet, I don't approve of that. In fact, I think that having a good quality diet is one of the biggest tools that you possess in order to transform your health long term. So is eating a quality diet going to truly outperform fasting? It's just two different things. It's two wildly different things. You need both of them, in my opinion. So here's another one. Daily walking, okay? Two things can be true at once. Daily walking is very important. In fact, I've done plenty of videos on this very topic. Many studies show that a 10 to 15 minute walk after a meal can lower your blood sugar as much as fasting. Now, the truth is some people will say it's better simply because you'll get massive improvements in glucose clearance, support digestion in a big way. It's easy, it's sustainable, anybody can do it, right? And it also helps lower your risk of insulin resistance. resistance. Now, I'm a big fan of walking, minimum of 30 minutes a day. The health benefits are just unbelievable going on a 30-minute fast-paced walk a day. I think that going for a walk after a meal is going to be wildly important because you activate those big muscle groups in the body, the legs, the glutes, and guess what? They sweep that blood sugar right from the bloodstream and they soak it up like a mop and they utilize it. So that is one of the big benefits that you'll get from going on a walk. Here's another one. Strengthening your gut microbiome. Well, strengthening your gut microbiome is incredibly important because it's going to help heal your gut. It's going to improve weight loss. It's going to improve your mood. It's going to lower inflammation in your body. And furthermore, people say it's better than fasting because it's going to reduce gut-driven inflammation. It's going to reduce cravings. It's going to improve upon metabolic flexibility and also enhance nutrient absorption. Here's the thing, is I can't argue that improving your gut health is not important because the thing is that I work with people every day on improving gut health. I've had my own gut health challenges and I find that improving your gut health, the diversity of the microbiome, the different probiotics in your gut, lowering inflammation, healing leaky gut, also balancing your immune system through doing this process is all incredibly important. And you know what heals your gut very well? Fasting. As it turns out, fasting actually helps balance your microbiome, heal leaky gut. It also helps kill down pathogens like yeast problems in the gut. So you're going to get a ton of gut health benefits from fasting alone. So they're two very different things and they actually complement each other well. I don't really think that one is better or more important than the other. Now, the next contender for being better than fasting is going to be rebalancing your hormones. Well, this is an interesting one. Hormone issues can block the fasting benefits, according to this article I found. And fixing them is far more important than focusing on fasting because if you fix your hormones, you're going to have improved energy, you're going to find that you have better blood sugar control, and also you're going to fix your metabolism, okay? I think that rebalancing your hormones is very important. In fact, fasting does this really well. So they complement each other, okay? Fasting will help you rebalance your metabolic hormones. It'll help increase hormones like testosterone and growth hormone, hormones that are very healing. You're going to get a lot of benefits from fasting. Fasting is a powerful tool, but it's not a magic bullet. Doing things like improving upon your quality of sleep, improving insulin sensitivity, walking after a meal and doing a 30-minute walk a day, focusing on stress reduction, eating whole foods, rebalancing your hormones. These things all matter and they're all incredible pieces to the full puzzle of health. And then when you throw fasting on there, it's kind of the cherry on top. It is what is going to help you amplify the results of all of these different things that you're trying to accomplish. So when we look at fasting or we look at any of these different other health topics I mentioned today, they are all incredibly important. But we don't need to look at them from a myopic standpoint saying, well, this one's more important than that one. No, they're all useful and they all have their unique benefits. And quite frankly, every topic that I covered today, I find to be incredibly important, but I would not claim that one is better than fasting. I think they should all be implemented equally. And as a result of that, that is how you truly get to a place of good health. That's how you promote longevity in your body. And that is how you stay healthy for a lifetime. I'm Dr. Nick Zyrowski. If you love this video, check out this one next.